Hi, I'm Katie. I am the owner of Harmonious Renewal, and this is my first video blog. I do not like seeing myself or hearing myself on video, but I know that some of you really like this format. You'd rather listen rather than read for various reasons. So I'm going to try it, and you can let me know how good or bad it is, and if I should do it again. This topic we want to talk about today actually really lends itself to discussion rather than writing, so we'll give this a try. I want to talk about other people's stuff. When I talk about other people's stuff, I mean their energy, their emotions, their problems, their needs. There are times, we've all had it, when we have a friend or a family member who's really going through a rough time, and we feel their pain and their suffering, and we really hurt for them. And we really want to help them and try and make it better. We might have seen things on the news that we feel really drawn to or really upset about. I know racial stuff going on in the United States and all around the world right now is really making a lot of us hurt for what is still happening. This is completely normal. This is being a human. This is called compassion. It's empathy. It's learning to see the world from someone else's viewpoint and trying to figure out what we can do to help. If you have never felt this, you might be a sociopath, and you should probably get that checked out. But my guess is you're here because this makes a lot of sense to you and you have done this. So this is a completely normal thing to do. And in a healthy way of dealing with this is to feel their pain, to commiserate with it, to have sympathy, to offer support, to see, is there anything I can do to help you, to figure out what to do with it. But in the end, you have to let their emotions and their energy go because it's not your stuff. So you may still feel some sadness for them, but there's a realization that you cannot fix the problem for that person. They have to do it. So you offer anything you can to help, but in the end, it's their problem, it's their emotions that they have to process. The maladaptive pattern, which so many of us do, is that we try and hold on to their stuff. And there's some good reasons we try to do this. We think that if we hold on to their stuff, we can ease their suffering and ease their pain. We'll make it easier for them if we can take some of it from them. Or maybe we think that we can help by fixing it for them. If we feel it, if we really understand what's going on, we can kind of bulldoze our way through the problem and fix it for that person. Maybe there's some control issues involved, especially if you're talking about close friends or family members. This is all maladaptive though, because it doesn't work. I wish it did, but none of it works. You cannot take pain away from somebody else. Your body cannot process their emotions and their energy. When you have your own emotions and energy, when you feel things and you react to the world, you can figure out where it came from, you can figure out what to do about it, you can figure out, if there's any underlying beliefs that need to be healed so that you can let this go. You can process it in your body and mind and let it go. When you're dealing with other people's stuff, you have two choices. You can let it go or you can hold on to it. Letting it go doesn't mean you don't help them or you don't have compassion anymore. It just means you're not trying to hold on to their energy. You're not trying to take control of the situation. Holding on to it, your body doesn't know what to do about it. It's not your stuff. So in the end, it ends up having to stick that energy and that stuff somewhere in your body to get it out of the way so you can keep moving through your life. If you are somebody who has been doing this for a long time, this ends up in layers and layers and layers of other people's stuff interspersed with your own stuff and physical ailments and all kinds of other things. So you get this huge energy pile up of stuff that if some of it's not yours, you can't get rid of it. So this causes a lot of problems down the road. So you end up with this situation where you're not actually helping the other person, but trying to take their energy, and you're actively hurting yourself. So what do you do with this? There's two things. The first is you need to learn to stop holding on to other people's stuff in the now. So today, every single day, you need to recognize when you're holding on to other people's stuff. You need to know what to do with it once you've recognized that and to let that go. And you also need to work on figuring out, why do you hold on to it? What are the underlying beliefs that are making you do that? Do you feel like that's part of your job in the world? Do you feel like you were raised that you were supposed to do that? So you have to do some detective work to figure out, why is this your pattern? This requires some awareness, some introspection. There's some techniques for changing your beliefs. So there's lots of stuff you can do to deal with this in the here and now, so you will stop continuing to take on other people's stuff. The second thing you need to do is go into the past and release the old stuff that you're holding on to, because you're never going to work through your energy problems, your physical problems, your emotional problems, unless you start releasing that stuff. Now, if you're in a healthy enough place and you learn to stop sticking stuff in your body every day, you may be able to start naturally releasing that. And there are stories of people doing that through yoga, through meditation, sometimes through talk therapy, that they can actually access some of that old stuff and let it go. If you are not in a healthy enough place, for those of us who have been doing this for a long time, probably aren't. Your body is not going to just naturally just let it go. So you need to go back and figure out where that stuff is hiding and how to get rid of it. I personally have found in my life that energy work is the best way to do that. You can locate it, you can release it, and you can signal healing to your body to take care of whatever has been blocked with that stuff there. So that's my personal favorite, and that's what I teach through my practice and on my blog. If you work with an energy worker already, somebody who does Reiki or IET or other kinds of energy work, you can ask them, do you know what's being released? Is this my stuff? Is this someone else's stuff? They might know, and that will give you some information about your patterns and what you've been doing. If they don't know, it doesn't mean they're a bad energy worker. It just means that they haven't dealt with this before. So you could continue to work with them and then do some of your own work on top of it, or you can find somebody who works more specifically with these kinds of patterns to help release it. I have not worked with anybody who doesn't have someone else's stuff on some level. So at the very least, they might have some things from childhood, so when they were really close to a caregiver or family members, and they have held on to some stuff from when they were kids. It seems like everybody at least has that, but then maybe they learned healthy ways of releasing this stuff and stopped holding on to it throughout their life, so they've done really well since then. On the far, far, far end of the spectrum are people like me who hold on to everybody else's stuff. Every stranger that you meet, everything you hear on the news, you try and hold on to that and try and fix it on some level. If that is you, if that sounds familiar, there's going to be a lot more work because this is a long-standing pattern for you, and there's probably a lot of underlying beliefs that are making that happen. But you can heal from that. Your body can learn to release that stuff. You can go back and find it. You can learn to stop doing it in the here and now. And I still have days where I'm like, what is going on? Oh, I've got someone else's stuff. So it takes some time. It's practice, but it can be done. So if you're somebody who is struggling with being stuck and you can't figure out why, it could be this. It could be it's not your stuff. And if you don't realize that you're trying to let go of someone else's stuff, you can't let it go, and you're never going to move forward. You're never going to get unstuck. So my suggestion is, if this rings true for you, check out my blog, read some more of my things. I haven't talked about this particular aspect of any energy work a whole lot. This is sort of my beginning introductory post on this. I'll add some more later. But if you want to contact me, we can talk more about this, see if this is a pattern with you, see if this might help get you unstuck in the future. But I hope just learning a little bit about it can help you start to identify some of your own patterns and what you're doing. So good luck. Let me know what you thought of the video, if I should do it again. And check out my website, see what's there. I've got lots of good things for you to look into and to think about. So have a great day.